What's up, Leets and Geeks? We're back at it here on Classic Tabletop RPG Friday, and we are continuing our mini-series within a series in the Classic Traveler RPG, doing trade and commerce. Now, I know that some of you guys are new to the channel, and I want to welcome you guys to the channel. As a matter of fact, I just want to welcome everybody right now who have come to the channel, even if this is your first time. I'm your boy, Servant of Shiloh, and this place that you've stopped is RPG Elite. This is the place where I focus on putting the RP back into RPG. It is a tabletop RPG education channel. Now, how I put the RP back in RPG is by giving you tools and tips and tutorials and real talk about the tabletop RPG space and culture. But for those of you who maybe have seen one or two videos and you have decided to stick around to see what's up, you have to understand this. You have to understand, I'm not gonna stop in the middle of explaining something in a series that I am doing. Now, you have to understand, I am doing a series. Now, I'm speaking right now specifically to one of the viewers of the last video in this mini-series within a series, Mr. Brian Smith. Mr. Brian Smith thought that I was going to stop in the middle of a series, which did say part two. Gots to read the title, y'all, but I'm going to chalk that up to not being familiar with how I do things when I go into a deep dive here. I've done deep dives on classic games and I never skip anything. Now, you may not have seen the video where I explained a couple of months ago that none of my videos are going to be more than 20 minutes on YouTube any longer. I'm not going to do that anymore. And I explained in that video why I was not going to do that. So if you want to find out about that, you can click down in the description below. I'll hit it up for you. However, if I am going to do a series, I'm just going to chop it up into like a mini series, which is what I've done with trade and commerce. Again, I'm going to chalk that up to not knowing what's up here on the channel. Let's get into this today. Finishing up the series now. So this is part 3 of a 3-part series. We're going to finish it up in terms of how you make some money if you got a ship and you want to do some things on the side. Maybe you can make a little bit more Skrilla by doing what I'm talking about here today. On the other side, I have a question of the vid for you that is specific to Traveler, and it's actually specific to this series. I want to get your input on something. So that'll be on the other side. So let's get into this right now and roll them. So again, for the sake of argument, we're assuming that Sab, he was the one that we were using last time, if you remember. We're just going to assume that he's got everything. He's got all this money to spend. So he has 60 million credits. Let's say, because he's going to take them all. He's not going to do the 1% fee. He'll just take them all because they're only 18 tons and he's got 82 tons of space. The base price on this is 10 million. This is the starting price, but how much it actually is, well, there's another table for that. There's an actual value table for that. And it's going to be determined by a couple of different things. When it comes to the actual value, the one thing that's going to determine it is your purchase DMs is the world that you are on. If we go over to computers, you have this I-2, R-2. What does that mean? We go down to the bottom of the table and it's going to tell you what the abbreviations are. This is going to be the trade classification of the world that you are on purchasing these items. So A is for agricultural, NA is for non-agricultural, P is for poor, so on and so forth. So if we look at Rustia, which is the planet that we're on, we see that the trade classification is poor. All right, going back to computers here, well, we're not going to get any DM. If it was an industrial world, we get a -2, or if it was a rich world, we get a -2, but it's neither. And just for the record, minus on the purchase DMs is a good thing. You want minus on the purchase DM. But since we don't have anything because Rustia is poor, we're just going to go to the actual value table And we're going to pray that we roll low, because low is what we want. We want to buy it low. So let's go ahead and roll 2d6 and see what we get. 7. So that just means if you go back to your price here, that means that we're just going to buy it at a base 60 million. Remember, there's 6 of them. So this is going to be 60 million. We're buying them at 100% of whatever they're asking for. Not so good. So let's see what we could sell it at. And we're going to go, I'm going to give you an example on 2 different worlds. Let's say they were going to Dual. Dual is a desert world. So there's no classification. That's a trade classification for it. And if we go to the resale value over here on computers, we have non-industrial, we have poor, and we have agricultural. Oh, agricultural. That's not good. On the resale side, plus is what you want. Minus, no. Now we also have another DM. That DM is the skill of SAB. You can use 2 skills when it comes to resale, bribery and admin. So let's see if SAB here has some. And it does something. He has both admin and bribery. Check that out. So he's going to get a +2 DM. Let's go ahead and roll on the actual value table and see what we get on Dual. This is just for Dual. So we could only sell it for what we paid for. Now that's not good. that's not what we want. The good thing is that he can just hold on to him. Remember, he bought him. This is his money, so he can hold on to him as much as he wants. So let's say, and let's pull up the subsector map so you guys can kind of see where we're going here. So on the subsector map here, this is Rustia. Make it a little bit bigger. This is Rustia, and he went to Dual, all right? But let's say he didn't want to go to Dual. Let's say he decided that he wanted to go to the Sakura. Okay. Well, let's look at Sakura and see what it has. Non-industrial trade classification. Okay. We go down to computers and we look, ooh, we got a +2. And we got another +2 because of SABs, admin, and bribery. So let's go ahead and roll and see what we can get with a +4, y'all. All right, so we've got 7. Go to the actual value table, but we got +4. That's 11. So we can make a little bit of money on here. We can make a little bit of money here, right? You can sell it at 150%. That's not bad. That's pretty darn good, actually. And we probably would go and sell it on Zakor. There's one more thing that you can do when it comes to the resale of your items. Let's say, for example, that you wanted to go a little bit higher, but you have to give up a little bit in order to do that. Enter broker services. If you go to the broker services table, you're going to find that if you want to employ a broker, you can get another DM. However, for every DM that you add, it's going to cost you 5%. So a minimum is going to, for a +1 DM, will be a 5% commission to the broker, and a maximum of +4, but they want 20%. Now, I mean, so if we go back, and let's go back to our old roles here. So we have 5 here on Dual. And let's say, for the sake of argument, that we wanted a +3 for that. So it would have been 8. And if we go back to the actual value table, that still wouldn't have been a whole lot worth anything. Remember, we bought it at 5, which is 80%. And if we go back here and we had that +3, it would have been at 110%. It's not bad, but it's not the greatest. However, if we would have went back to this +4 over here on Zakor, and we would have added another 4, then it would have been at 15% at 400%. Now you might be saying, well, I don't know if I want to play 20%. Oh, come on. You're selling it at 400%. You don't want to give up 20% to sell it at 400%? Come on. That's just penny pinching for no good reason. That would be awesome if you could do that. So if you want to use a broker, it will depend on the situation what you would do. And I did that at a +4. If it was at the +3, still though, it's 300%. Come on, y'all. What's going on? One thing to remember also is that brokers are only for the resale, not for the purchase. The only purchase DMs is what's on the trade and speculation table. But for resale, you have the skills that you may have, so bribery and admin. You have the actual ones that are on the trade and speculation table, and if you are using a broker. Okay, so I know that I was a little bit all over the place there, but basically what I did, I just picked the number and used it as an example. It wasn't going exactly from what I had rolled, so kind of roll with me there, folks. I didn't explain it that well, so I just wanted to clarify that real quick. Hey, if you got any value out of this video today at all, whether it be information, whether it be entertainment, whether it be whatever, then could you do a brother a solid and just crush the like button? Also, you want to stick around after you've seen a couple of my videos. Hey, I got over 280, I think now, 280 videos. So I got a little bit of something that you can sample. If you want to stick around, go ahead, hit the subscribe button and the notification bell. The question of the vid has to do with this deep dive series into Traveler. There are a couple other things that I was going to leave out of this series. I was going to leave out animal encounters. I was going to leave out patrons because those things are mostly for the GM. And so I was just going to leave those out, how you do that whole system and everything. We're at the end of this series, y'all, because it's combat time.
Yeah, baby. Yeah.
In next week's video, God willing. And anyone who's gone through any of my deep dive series of Gamma World or Top Secret, y'all know anytime that I do combat, we're about to end the series, because after combat, we move on to another game. So the question of the vid has to do with, should I include patrons in animal encounters? So should I include the extra content that I want to exclude and just go straight into combat like my original plan was? Or do you guys want to hear about how to do patrons and how to do animal encounters in Classic Traveler? Do you want that? Because, hey, I'm willing to do it. I don't have any problem going in either direction. But I thought maybe since that was mostly for the GM, that I was just going to bring it home and end it up with combat. But hey, let me hear from you guys down in the comments below. Let's get some engagement going. I'd like to hear from you and to see what you think. Since you guys are the few hundred that watch these videos anyway, your input is very important to me. All right, well, that is going to do it, folks. That's it. Your boy has got to do his snaggle post.
So exit, stage left.
Hey, y'all, if you got a game this weekend, happy gaming. I pray it is an RPG Elite session. We are going to get back into some One Ring after over a month being off. We're back at it, folks, and I'm pretty excited about that. So until next time on Tuesday, God willing, I got to say, peace, 5,000 leaks. Yeah, your boy, he out.